My Habitat for Humanity house was a scam. The food my mother blended and fed into my feeding tube was a ruse. The Make-A-Wish trips were as fraudulent as the medical records and birth certificates that my mother doctored. By the way, we are in the middle of dead smack in the middle of the void of course, where there's a certain time blocked out where the moon is actually going from one sign into another, and you're not supposed to do anything during that time, and it's literally... I'm in the middle of it right now. I was wondering why I was feeling weird all day. It happens several times a month. Right now, it's 1 o'clock in the morning on the 25th. But so from the 24th at 4:36 p.m. all the way till 1:05 p.m. today, I'm not supposed to be doing anything. So you're not supposed to do anything during a void of course, because nothing will turn out well. Nothing will come out right. Even if you're practiced and skilled at something and you do it during a void of course, it's going to come out. You're going to get frustrated. You'll never be in the zone during a void of course or anything like that. So I really was wondering why I was feeling the way I was feeling today. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, we are in a void of course. Okay, figures. And so I was so excited to make a video about this stuff that I had researched before 4:36 today. And then once I got into the weeds live tonight, I was like, dang, I really want to come out with that video. So right now we're going to see what happens. My computer will probably blow up after I make this video, or I'm going to make this whole video and then it's all going to disappear somehow. So we'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully it won't, but I'm kind of testing it out a little bit too. So, I'm going to stay a little skeptical about some things, even though I've been doing this for years.
As soon as she started editing this video, the software crashed and hasn't come back up. So you get what you get today. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's Maybelline. Either way, it's frustrating. Don't worry, she may look a little funny in that silly hat, but there's still lots of new Gypsy content packed into this video. So let's get into it.
And if y'all would like me to give you the moon guidance for the day during my videos, I will be more than happy to. Y'all should get into it.
Just coast, just coast.
Just coast, just coast, just coast, just coast. Just coast.
Welcome to the show.
Here's another video of Gypsy apologizing again to Nick, of course. She's constantly doing things to have to apologize for. I mean, doesn't that get old? And let's hear what she has to say this time. Gypsy, you little sorry-ass bitch.
Hi, my love. I'm making you this response video to the video that you sent me. First off, I am so sorry. I never, ever, 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 ever wanted to hurt you. I never have done it on purpose. I never will do it on purpose. It was always on accident. It was always because I was stupid or not thinking clearly or confused or
probably
something like that. I never wanted to hurt you on purpose. That was never my intention. And I'm so sorry about those texts I sent you.
Oh my God.
What happened was, I was trying to explain to you in a short text, which was a bad idea because I should have waited till you were online with me.
Right.
That yes, I have this friend, and he has developed these feelings for me. He's fallen in love with me. I didn't do anything to make him feel that way about me. It's just we're friends, and I guess something clicked in his heart or whatever for me.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, I don't have feelings for him. I care about him, but as a friend. It doesn't really matter if he's a guy or if he's a girl, whatever, and it's not because Demona has this bisexual thing. No. What I'm trying to say is the feelings that I have are just simple friend feelings.
Okay.
I care about him as a friend.
Okay.
And I stopped talking to him, so maybe that will give him the right message that I don't want anything more than friendship.
Okay.
The text that I sent to you were cold. I didn't think when I was writing it, I didn't think I was being cold.
Of course
I just thought I was being short to the point.
A bitch. Oh, you are a bitch though, so that's why you didn't think you were being cold. But go on.
That's it. I didn't mean it to be cold.
No, of course
and
not.
basically what I was just trying to say is that my friend loves me. He has often talked about wanting to have a future with me and everything like this. And I'm not the kind of person that really likes to crush anyone's dreams. I don't want to be that woman that they're like, oh, well, she wrecked my heart, or now I can never love again, or something like that.
Of course not. Yeah.
That's just not me. Because I've been in that position where I've liked someone or cared about someone in a romantic way, and they didn't feel the same, but they didn't give me consideration to let me know that they didn't have feelings for me back, and I was just left there wondering and hanging there. And, you know, if they did, it was very cold. It was just, you know, I don't like you or something like that. It was very cold and very mean and very distant.
Yeah.
And since he is my friend, I didn't want to be that way to him. If he was a stranger, then I wouldn't mind, but knowing how he is, and, you know, he's been hurt before by girls, and I don't want to crush his dreams of finding his soulmate.
Oh, yeah,
that's not me. I'm not his soulmate, obviously, because I'm yours. But I don't want to crush his dreams of finding his.
Right.
So I was trying to let him down gently.
Yeah.
And but since I tell you everything, I told you, and then that got you being scared of losing me, because that's happened. You know, your exes have left you or whatever for someone else, yet that's not what I'm gonna do.
No.
I'm yours, and I always will be, and since I always tell you everything, I don't lie to you. I never have. Have I made big mistakes? Yes. Have I broken a promise or two? Yes. Accidentally, never meant to. Right. Slowly but surely I'm learning. And I did something wrong, which was I asked Jackie a question, and because I was worried that whenever you said that you had yourself killed, I thought you were. So I wanted to know, do you have a past history of being suicidal that I need to know about? Because you said that you two were together for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's a longer time than you and I have been together, so maybe she'll know you better than I do.
Yeah,
so I just wanted to ask her, are you suicidal? Do I need to be very, very careful about that? You know, so that's what I wanted to ask her, and then it led to us talking a little bit more, and then she's like, well, what he does is he gets together with a girl, and then he calls her his soulmate, and then treats her like, you know, she's everything to him, and then they'll break up, and then he'll just find someone else not long after, and then just kind of rub the new girl in the old girl's face. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like the person that I fell in love with. That doesn't sound like my king trying. But then I remember whenever you and I first got together, and I looked at your profile, so I saw a couple of your exes and how you treated them, and you treated them very good, and I saw that you called them your soulmate, and that's what gave her, what she said, credibility, and I was just very confused, and then I'm like, oh God, he's using me.
Hey girl, it's Jessie. Yeah, you told me to give you a call to let you know to switch the laundry over. Or take the laundry out of the dryer or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Also, don't forget to wash your wigs and brush them so that, you know, they stay looking good. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
I'm such an idiot to believe that someone can actually care that much about me, and that all of this year has just been a lie, and a very elaborate one, and that I can't believe that I fell for it. And I felt used, I felt betrayed, and I felt most of all hurt.
Oh, here we go.
Because I do adore you. I just don't want to end up like my mom. My dad used to hit her and be mean to her, and then he'd just say, I'm sorry. She forgave him, and then he found another girl, and then he left us. And I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want us to get married, and then us have a child, and then you find another woman, and then you leave us.
You know, it's interesting because she is so paranoid. She's so paranoid of this fake life that she doesn't want to happen, that never happened. Like, Rod didn't beat Dee Dee. I don't know where she got that idea, but she's so paranoid of that fake scenario happening that it just seems like she must obviously be using this as a tactic to, you know, harbor sympathy from Nick, you know? Don't you get tired of making these videos? I get tired of watching them.
Because it's hard being a daughter. You feeling like your father doesn't care, because he doesn't. He left. He cared about me instead. And it just feels like everyone wants to leave me because I drive people away.
That's true.
This is who I am. I have my hard times, and then there are people that can't handle it. And, you know, sometimes my mom, she wants to leave me. She wants to kick me out or whatever. She doesn't want me anymore. There are times that it gets that way because I get difficult to handle. I get difficult to be with. I'm not always horrible, as you know. I have good times. I have times that I've made you happy. I have times that I've hurt you, not on purpose.
A lot.
And I don't want to hurt you anymore. I just want us to be happy. I know our relationship has been like a roller coaster, ups and downs, but every relationship is. Probably not as rocky as ours, but we've always stayed together.
How you be knowing about what all other relationships are like? Miss, I'm so sheltered, stuck in a damn wheelchair. All relationships are. What she's not realizing is that when she's trying to pull this whole act, it's only going to work on someone like Nick. You know, it's like for us, regular ass people, this shit ain't working. If this was a real person that actually had this stuff really happen to them and they really felt this way, if this was all real, it would be very, very sad. But it's not.
I want to treat you good. And when I saw that video, I looked into your eyes and I saw that you were telling the truth. You've been telling the truth the whole time. And I'm so sorry that I ever doubted you. I promise you this one promise I can keep, that I promise that I will be your everything. And I promise I'll be the soulmate that you deserve. I'll listen to you and I won't doubt you anymore. I won't ever talk to Jackie again, so I won't let her manipulate me into anything. I love and adore you more than anything in the world. I would die for you over and over again. I'd walk through hell for you. I'd do anything for you. And you know that. So please forgive me. Please can we end this hard time and be happy like we once was? Just you and me. We can make it. And I promise you I'll stop with all the doubting and just everything that causes problems in our relationship. I'll be a good girlfriend and a good soulmate.
Totally.
And I can't wait to see you and talk to you. And I know I ripped it up because I was overreacting, but my scotch taped your letter back together.
Oh my God.
So I'm in peace. And I treasure it. I really, really do.
Mm-hmm, totally. Your one-way ticket to
I can
mom's
never
death.
leave you. When I say I want you, it's because I want to be with you. And when I say I need you, it means I need you to breathe. I need you to live. I need you to be happy. I need you for everything. And
I need you to kill my
bring
mom.
such joy and happiness into my life, and I never want to let that go.
Not until you kill my mom.
Yes, we live very far apart, but that never stopped me from wanting us to be together. Because I've always had hope that we'd see each other one day, and we will, because I've got $452 saved up. That would be enough to pay for one trip here, like to get you here and to get you back home, for the hotel stay, everything. I want to get a little bit more for taxi cab money and everything and eating money, but for the majority, your first trip has been already saved up. So I'll start saving for a second trip, and then a third trip, and then pretty soon we'll be engaged, and then you can stay here at my house, and then you don't have to stay at a hotel. We have a pretty good solid plan, and if we keep to it, and if we stay content with each other and stay happy and stay positive, we're gonna make it to the end. We're gonna make it to our happy ending.
Oh boy.
But I don't ever want us to end. So please keep the faith. I love and adore you so much, and please accept my most sincere apology for everything that I've put you through. I love and adore you, my King Charming. I want to be with you forever.
Shit.
I mean, my love doesn't stop when we die. It's all eternity. And I hope you feel the same way, and I know that you love me. I don't doubt that at all. You've shown it.
Every time I see this face on here talking to somebody, talking about, I know you love me so much, and I love you, and I'm sitting over here single as, I don't get it.
Time and time again, you've been amazing to me, and for me to hurt you like that, I feel horrible about it, and I'll never do it again, I promise.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, and I hope you'll forgive me. I love you and adore you so much. And to Master Victor, I'm sorry that I hurt Nick, and I'm sorry that I hurt you. I won't do it again. I'll be a good girl. I promise.
Bitch, where did you get those glasses? Yikes. God damn. I mean, he still liked you after that? That is fucking wild. That is wild to me. All right, enough of that riffraff. Oh, y'all know about the trust fund that she had set up for her while she was in prison, right? So I didn't know what it was. And then I Googled it today. And apparently she got paid for the movie, The Act, because it didn't look like there was much other correspondence going on between her and this person. Hi, Gypsy. I'm happy to let you know that the trust fund has been set up. It's called the Gypsy Rose Trust, established August 25th, 2020, and there's an associated account set up at Chase Bank. There's $30,000 in the account now. I need to wait until next year, also for tax reasons, to put in more. At the same time you're released, there should be a total of $50,000 in it. You are the designated beneficiary of the trust. I am the trustee. That just means that I'm responsible for distributing funds from the trust to you. So when you're about to be released, let me know, and I will get the funds to you for therapy, education, and support needs. The language... I think that's what she got a nose job with. The language in the trust says it's intended to help pay for Gypsy Rose Blanchard's therapy, health, education, support, and maintenance. She should have gotten some therapy, some mental health, or a lobotomy or something with it. Blah, blah, blah. The gift trust is an irrevocable trust and as such cannot be revoked or modified in any manner after it is signed. So fortunately, that was pretty simple to set up and it'll be there for you when you get out. I hope that you're safe and doing all right. All my best. And then there's a couple other emails that show, for God's sake, Gypsy, I'm trying, but I can't stop thinking about you. I don't know why I've been so obsessed on you and everything about you, but I can't. I just can't. I watch you smiling every single day and I can't help it. Please let me know about you. You watch her smile every single day and that's what's got you? What the fuck am I doing wrong? Oh, this is her, like, she treats this dude like shit. Outbound. Please send me some money, baby. But I have sent you $50 today, honey. Didn't you receive the money? Thanks, baby. What is your phone number? I mean, I feels like this is backward. Is it not? How are you fucking texting this? I was really thinking about you, my love. When will I see you? Or at least may hear your voice. Tell me if you have had access to the money I just sent. Please, I miss you, baby. Send me pictures of you, my baby. I really want to see my little girl. I was watching a video of you. You have such a delicious body. You know that? Okay, send me money and I'll send you some pics. She can't do that from prison. She'll get in more trouble than she already has. Have y'all seen her rap in prison? So the paperwork that I have is her whole entire prison stay. And it just shows sanction after sanction after sanction after sanction. She had a fucking Cosmopolitan subscription to the magazine Cosmopolitan while she was in there, which they did not allow. And she kept the damn subscription. And every month that the magazine came in, she got a sanction for it. She was going to the hole all the time. She was constantly getting in trouble. She got a tattoo on her foot for a Ken or on her ankle or whatever, a K. And then she somehow got a ring in jail, which, you know, God, she's such a fucking crook, man. So I made a TikTok video a little while ago and I was saying how, like, why would you name your daughter after the city that you killed your mom in, right? And I know people are going to be like, actually, she killed her mom in Springfield. I get it. Okay? But it was after I read this. In an interview with People last month, Blanchard explained the backstory behind Aurora's name, which some speculated was inspired by Sleeping Beauty, or the fact that her stepmother Christie's dog is named Aurora Grace. Disturbing.
Back whenever Ken and I were together 7 years ago, both of us had a fascination with the Northern Lights, and the proper term is the Aurora Borealis, she said. I think it was maybe in 2018, we wrote each other's future kids' names on pieces of paper, and Aurora is what we both picked out without knowing each other was picking it.
Which is so special, right? Like, if she wasn't a piece of shit, that would be so cool, you know, to have that. Like, that would be an amazing moment if she wasn't a piece of shit.
Despite their breakup, she remembered the name over the years. When we had broken up, it was like, oh, Aurora is never going to be born. A lot of people think the origin is one thing, but they don't know that little story.
Although Blanchard currently remains on parole, she has plans to see the Northern Lights with Urker in the future. Someday we're going to see it, she said. After I'm off parole, we're going to go. We're going to go to Sweden. Are you, girl? When? Doubt it. And so I made a TikTok video because after I'd read that, you know, I read that and then just filed it away in my memory. And then I was watching one of her documentaries, and the very beginning of it, it was like, this Aurora team from, you know, it's about the Habitat for Humanity people that were helping them move into their new house after Katrina. And it was saying the Aurora this and the Aurora that. And I was like, oh my God. And then there's that one video of her jumping off the deck into the snow. And she's like, this is Gypsy Rose Blanchard coming here from Aurora, whatever, you know, in front of, sitting up on our porch, whatever she says. And I was like, oh my God, why would you name your daughter after the fucking city where you murdered your mom? People right away in the comments like, it's actually Springfield. Listen, she had no association with Missouri. Is it Missouri? Whatever the fuck. She had no association with that state at all, period. She wasn't born there or raised there. She had no association, no family there. She had nothing to do with that state. She was born and raised in Louisiana, had absolutely nothing to do with Missouri except for the fact that that's where they ended up once Katrina hit, and that's where they were offered, housing or cheap housing or whatever the hell the situation was. That's where they ended up. No other association besides the fact that they ended up there after Katrina, and that's where her mom was, and that's where she killed her mom. So all you people who are like, it's actually Springfield. Listen, I was born and raised in California. If I, with my mom, a single mom, just me and her, when I was 16 years old, if she decided to pick us up and move us to Florida, and when we first got there, we were in Miami, but then we ended up a half hour away in Fort Lauderdale, and I killed her in Fort Lauderdale. You think I'm going to name my first daughter Miami? No, that would be fucking weird. You know what I'm saying? So give me a break. It's close enough. It might as well be. And if you look up Gypsy's story on Wikipedia, it says Aurora. That's the first city that it says. All it talks about is Aurora. It does mention Springfield, but it's like Aurora. I mean, Aurora is a huge part of her story as far as like where they were located to right before Dee Dee died. So give me a break. Oh, right here. I cut and pasted it for all you fucking nerds out there. Moved to Missouri after Hurricane Katrina. This is from Wikipedia. Destroyed their Louisiana home. Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose lived in a rented home in Aurora in southwestern Missouri. During their time there, Gypsy Rose was honored by the Olay Foundation, which advocates for the rights of feeding tube recipients, and its 2007 Child of the Year. How embarrassing for them. In 2008, Habitat for Humanity built them a small home in Springfield. So they lived in Aurora for a year, and then they lived in Springfield for the rest of the time. Other than that, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck if you can do like the Northern Lights. Name her Northern. Shit, Kim Kardashian and Kanye did. Okay. Name her Northern Urker. It'd be just as goofy as her name is now anyway. When they left the house, Dee Dee often took an oxygen tank and feeding tube with them. Gypsy Rose was fed the children's liquid nutrition supplement Pediasure well into her 20s. Oh my God, that is so... I mean, I already knew that, but that is so fucking disgusting. Oh my God. Gypsy Rose often wore wigs or hats to cover her baldness. And to make creepy videos for Nick. Let's not forget about that. So speaking of Louisiana, hold on, before I show you this picture of the map. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, these are all the messages about the money. Hi, Gypsy. I wanted to confirm that this month the last $20,000 was fully deposited into the trust account, completing the $50,000 that will be available to you when you're released. I hope you're doing well and staying healthy. I hope your friends and family are well. Are you still able to take classes and teach ICVC with the COVID-19 pandemic going on? All the best. And the one that was before that, greetings from California. In another $20,000 will be deposited into the trust account, putting the total at the final $50,000, which will remain in the trust until you get released, so you can use it for housing, therapy, education, and whatever other essentials you need. Also, the lawyer who helped create the trust, when I last spoke to him, advised me to encourage you to avoid telling people about the funds that will become available when you get out, so there's less likelihood anyone will try to take advantage of them or pressure you to give them money that's intended for your health, education, etc. It is, of course, yours to do with as you like. Oh, and she did. The discretion is just a suggestion. I hope you're doing all right. Happy New Year, blah, blah, blah. I was also thinking about how, it's like I haven't gotten all of my FOIA requests that records that I've requested. I've only gotten some from the Greene County clerk. And so, which has none of the evidence. It's just transcripts from the court. But, so what I've done is like, you can go into the weeds, Google Drive, and you can get out evidence that they've already put out. And it's like, okay, so I did that and I downloaded all of the evidence that they have, but it's like, it's not all of it, which I think is so odd. And so the little bit that I have is nothing compared to like what Audrey has or what other people have when they're like, oh, I was going through the prison emails. And it's like, okay, well, I've gone through the prison emails too, but they have like more than that. So I just can't wait to get my own. But anyway, there's 1,007 pages of prison emails that I downloaded from Into the Weeds to go through. And I've gone through every single one of them, which is wild. And like a lot of it is just the same thing. Like Gypsy would send out these like mass texts to people. And then in between there's some things, but it's nothing really exciting. But I thought, okay, so she was in prison for 8 years. Out of all of those 8 years and the 1,007 pages that I've read of emails that she sent inbound and outbound, there was only one email where someone was kind of talking shit. And they were like, it was like a dude who's like, I think I have it on here. Oh my God, here's this one that Saturday Night Live has always been my go-to for comedy. I remember watching the old Will Ferrell episodes and just loved the skits. Favorite character skit was always blah, 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 blah. And that's an incoming message. And then she sent an outgoing message. It's always nice to make a new friend. So you're a comedian? What's your style of humor? I'm pretty funny myself. I have no filter, so mostly I essay whatever I think and enjoy pointing out my awkwardness. Yeah, you're fucking hilarious. You are, I mean, just a barrel of fucking monkey. That's how I describe you. I thought this was funny. Post-prison fame. As she received a cult following after her release from prison, Gypsy confessed she's finding her newfound fame conflicting. Fame is not what I'm looking for, she said. Obviously, I was infamous, and then I came out famous. She explained that she feels like she's a very shy person, and when she's posting updates about her life online, she isn't doing anything that anyone else wouldn't do. I disagree. I disagree with my whole heart. I absolutely disagree. Wait, that's everything? Hey, hello. Oh, she wrote this letter, and obviously I don't know who she wrote it to. But I think it might be Christy. I don't know. It's somebody that like a family member or something like that. Because there's a lot of... Oh, what was I saying about the emails a second ago? Oh, I was just saying that like I find it hard to believe that out of 1,007 emails that I went through that or 1,007 pages of emails, there's thousands of them, that only one message was like kind of talking shit. Like I think it was obviously a dude, and you can tell which ones are his messages when you're going through them because they're all out of order. They're not like, oh, it starts on this day that she started in prison and ends on the last day she got out of prison. They're like all jumbled up for some reason. And his messages are like, hey, I've been writing you. How come you can't write me back? Like, you don't have shit to do. You're in prison. Like, why can't you write me back and whatever? And you can tell this person's like getting irritated and she ignores them for whatever reason because she's a bitch. And so then there's an email where he's like, since you can't seem to write me back or whatever, like, you know, I don't hate you or whatever, but I'm no longer a fan. And I thought that was hilarious because I'm like, good, you know, like, I'm glad you're no longer a fan of hers. But I just found it odd that was the only message that was a negative email. And it reminds me of her social media now, like how her social media, she, you know, has bots. She has filters in her comments. She doesn't even have comments on right now on Instagram. At least as far as what I can see, there's no comments turned on but when there are comments and like, so if it's one of her lives, you know, it's just like all this, like, you know, people just blowing sunshine up her ass. And it's just so unbelievable to me. You know, that she only has positive comments and she only has people hyping her up in all of her comments. So I thought it was like, it was the exact same thing. So it's like, I wonder if she deleted all of the negative emails and mail that she got. And so what we have and what's left is only, you know, positive stuff. I don't know. Because why would she save any of it? I don't think she did. I don't know. I don't really know how it works. But I just had that thought. Anyway, this letter that she's writing to somebody, it was good talking with you tonight. Also, I heard Blank mention on the live that I think I'm going to get out and everything is going to be rainbows and gumdrops. LOL. I don't think that at all, actually. This world has destroyed the innocence I had. this world has? Girl. The video where you're showing Nick your butthole, I mean, that probably had a little bit to do with it, don't you think? The world is a shitty place with a lot of shitty people, and I am aware that life is a shit stick. Pardon my language. Well, isn't she just a ray of sunshine? We already know she's not. The world in here is that way, and on the outside is no different. I mean, what a fucking perspective on life. In here is a shit stick, outside's a shit stick, everywhere a shit stick. Everywhere a shit stick, old Mick shit stick had a farm. Okay. However, I am very adaptable. I can be a shit stick with the rest of them. I can get into any shit stick and just fit right in. Well, we know that. That is why I didn't have much trouble adjusting to prison life. Girl, that's because you get in where you fit in. That's what happened there. You're in there with a bunch of fucking criminals. They're just like you. No wonder you fucking fit in easily. The worst of the worst is in here, and I am keeping my head above water. I love that she's like, I'm very adaptable. That's why I didn't have much trouble adjusting to prison life. The worst of the worst is in here. I fit right in. Girl, you just fit right in. I know it will be a hard life for me. That's the spirit. But that is no reason to quit living and trying to find any kind of happiness along the way. Who said anything about that? She's so dramatic. I also heard that y'all are doubtful I can work or find a job. I never said working at Walmart is an aspiration of mine. All I said to you was it was required of people on parole or probation to have a steady employment, so Walmart might be an option. As for blank, though, she and I have had our issues. I actually agreed with a lot of what she had to say on the matter. Okay, this was the part that I thought was interesting. That doesn't mean I'm ready to start on speaking terms with her, but I don't think she is too far off base this time. For the first time ever, we see things from a common perspective when talking about people forgetting why I'm in here. I am what she says. I am branded a murderer. I am what she says. That's what she says. I am what she says. I am branded a murderer. I wouldn't say I'm a bad person, but I did a bad thing, and keeping the hype up is only hurting the Petries. I can't control what others say or do, but I can voice what I will or won't approve of when it pertains to me. That is why I had to stand up to blank and use my ability to email and make it known that I don't support what she was doing. I think she's talking about one of Dee Dee's sisters. I'm pretty sure that there was drama between one of the Dee Dee's sisters, like selling things of Dee Dee's or whatever and trying to make money off of it, like talking to people shouldn't have been talking. She was just doing some weird stuff or whatever that Gypsy didn't approve of. And then there was other people from the outside, I think, that were like telling Gypsy like, oh yeah, she's fucking doing this and talking shit and blah, 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 whatever. I don't even really care about that shit. I wasn't covering my ass. I was taking action, the right course of action. Also, I will admit, yes, I do have a problem with getting upset. No. You don't say. You have the worst temper on planet Earth. I feel really sorry for your daughter, as a matter of fact, because not only are you a Leo and a narcissist, you have a horrifying temper, which is probably like an accumulation of both of those things happening. You go from 0 to fucking, I'm going to stab you to death, you know what I mean? Or you go from 0 to planning somebody's murder in like for no reason at all. And then you sit there and you make all these apology videos and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't you get tired of being a sorry ass bitch? Hello. I do have a problem with getting upset, cussing someone out, and then feeling remorseful after I've calmed down. Doesn't everyone? No, I don't. I do not. No, I get wound up sometimes. It's things that irritate me. Like I don't like my skin touching my skin. Like my hands touching my skin is fine, but like any skin touching my skin, like when I sleep at night, I wear like full clothes, like with pants that have like my pants are like tucked into my socks and everything, because I can't have any of my skin touching my skin. Like if one of these hairs falls off and lands on my arm, like life cannot continue until that fucking hair is off of my arm. I will lose my mind. I will explode. I will blow a gasket. Life cannot continue until that hair is off. And the longer it stays there, I malfunction. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like I have so many autistic things that I wish I didn't have. Life would be a lot easier if I didn't have them. And I don't even think y'all realize how autistic I am. Like, it won't be until I do a live that y'all see how autistic I am, because it takes me hours to edit my videos because of my speech pattern. I have a very unique speech pattern, and there's a lot of spaces in between what I say, but I edit them all out in my videos, so y'all probably can't tell. But I have a lot of pauses that I don't realize that I do when I'm speaking, or when I'm doing anything. I just have a lot of like pauses, like I freeze a lot because I'm thinking, and it's very, very frustrating when I'm trying to edit videos. But anyway, just love me or leave me. You know what I mean? Doesn't everyone? I know everyone gets upset and says things they don't mean. That is not abnormal. Girl, no, they do not. Some people have the ability to think before they speak and are aware that if you're not careful and you let your emotions take over, you will say something that you regret, and nobody wants to sit around being a sorry ass bitch like you. People try to avoid saying anything that they will regret. Some people actually have like the forethought to think about what they're going to say instead of just opening up their cock sleeve and just spouting out the first fucking angry ass thing that comes to their mind. You have a short temper. That your short temper guides you through life. Period. There is no in between with you. As a matter of fact, I think you're constantly at angry. Like your mind frame is constantly angry. And then you just like explode onto people. But you're always mad. You're always mad about something because you're fucking paranoid and you have a fucked off perspective on life. And it, must be sad for you. Oh well. So for this, I do not absolve myself of any wrongdoing with this habit. Girl, a 3rd grade education? I mean, who are you trying to fool? Blank may take my resistance to listen to her advice as me hating people showing concern. Someone showing concern is not what I dislike or get upset about. What I have issues with is someone taking the steering wheel out of my hands and driving my car because you're a fucking control freak. Oh, did I skip a part? I know everyone gets upset and says things they don't mean, but that is not abnormal. But I am passive aggressive. It is, in fact, an anger problem, which I go to therapy for, as well as revert back to my anger management plan. Well, that plan must not have been a 5 or 10 year plan. It must have been just like I got to do this before until I get out plan. Oh, so for this, I do not absolve myself of any wrongdoing with this habit. I don't know why she's talking like Sarah Boone all of a sudden. Obviously, that is a metaphor, but you can see my point. After spending all my life being told what to do, how to do it, and not giving me a choice, that is what I get frustrated about. I am the kind of person who learns by trial and error. God damn, were you hanging out with Sarah Boone? Was she contacting you while you were in prison? Why do you sound like her? Gross. For example, my past relationship with blank, it didn't work out. He broke my heart. Okay, well, now I learned not to move so fast with someone I don't know very well and never accept a marriage proposal when we've only dated for a year. Chalk it up to that's life until you need them in order for Lifetime to only want to cast you in life after lockup if you are in a relationship, right? You didn't give a fuck about Ryan. I mean, none of us do, but you really didn't. You used him to be able to have substance on that show. I bet you $1 million the only reason they let you on life after lockup is because you were going to be in a relationship. That's it. Your story alone wasn't good enough for life after lockup. I mean, maybe it would have been, but I have a funny feeling that the only way they were going to let you be on that show is if you were married and in a relationship. Like maybe they first approached you when you were with Ken, and then all of a sudden he broke up with you because you're a nightmare. And so then they were like, oh, well, that was a big part of the whole story. And now, I mean, I'm just speculating, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to spread rumors. I'm just speculating. These are just my thoughts. This is all alleged. I'm just making this up. I'm just saying, like, it seems to me like there was a reason why you needed to be married when you got out and you immediately went into life after lockup. They gave you an apartment. I read about it all in the emails. They gave you an apartment. But in between your emails to Ryan, you're still talking to other people. You are so distant from that relationship. You can tell in these emails that like all you care about is social media. When you get out, like towards the end, right before you got out, you were just constantly sending emails to people like saying like, follow me on this, follow me on that. And you have a 400,000 different social media accounts that were being ran while you were in prison. You were definitely having someone run accounts for you on the outside because you talk about it in these emails, but you were not connected to Ryan. You can tell in the emails. You were just like, You barely even spoke to him, as a matter of fact. You told him like, oh, we got an apartment and this and that. But I have a funny feeling the only reason that you needed to be married, that you were married when you got out, was for Life After Lockup. Because once you filmed a season or two, you were like, all right, I'm out. Or like you could only handle it for so long. And you're like, okay, Life After Lockup, like I did what you asked me to. I was married, so you had your story, but I can't hang. I got to go be with Ken because I'm in love with him. I can't deny my feelings or whatever. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting because she says, I am what she says. I am branded a murderer. And she admits that she's a control freak and that she has a horrifying temper, which, Okay, so what I was going to tell you about Louisiana. Outbound message from Gypsy. And she says, oh my God, that's so funny. The beach is on my list. I have a friend who lives near Sarasota, Florida, and he is always sending me pics of the beaches there. I've never seen the ocean yet. That's so weird because, being born and raised in Louisiana, you'd think that you would have seen the ocean. So I was like, you know what? Maybe she didn't live close to the ocean, though, even though she was in Louisiana and her dad was an offshore fisherman. So I Googled it, and she lived 11 miles, which is a hop, skip, and a jump from Elmer's Island Beach. It's a very popular beach right there. Oh, and by the way, where she lived was Golden Meadow. So it's just literally a straight, I don't know, can y'all see this? It's literally just a straight shot down the one highway right to Elmer's Island Beach. So I highly doubt you never had seen the ocean before. We already know that there's pictures of you in your wheelchair on sand. I can't say if that was on the beach and there was an ocean there or not, but I have a funny feeling, being that you grew up in Louisiana, 11 miles, people walk that every day. Okay, maybe not, but sometimes they do marathons. Whatever, I'm just saying if they're in good shape, maybe. But anyway, yeah, so she lived 11 miles as a straight shot down the Highway 1 or whatever. So this was one of the excerpts from her book, right? When I was first arrested and in county jail for about a year, I had to let it sink in that the one person I did know how to trust had betrayed my trust for my whole life. This is why I didn't trust my first public defender. If my own mother could hurt me and not have my back, why would this guy be any different? I didn't believe he was trying to help me, especially when he was questioning me about things I just couldn't understand or was hearing for the first time, like that I didn't have leukemia or anemia or any of the illnesses that had defined me and confined me. Girl, listen. Let me tell you something. I found out that my mom had been lying to me about almost everything my whole entire life. But I can tell you this much. Just because I found out my mom had been lying to me in my whole entire life doesn't mean that it changed me and how I feel about other people, though. Like, she is so dramatic. Why? You didn't trust your first public defender because you just let it sink in that your mother had betrayed you, which is all a bunch of malarkey anyway. She's the biggest liar on planet Earth. That's the reason why she don't trust anybody. She don't trust anybody because she can't be trusted. That's how life works. And I'm sorry to break it to any of you that didn't know that, but that is how life works. People who have a guilty conscience don't trust other people. If you're a girlfriend and you go through your boyfriend's phone, it's because you can't be trusted, because you've got things to hide, not because he does. You go through your boyfriend's phone because you're a piece of shit. If he tries to go through your phone, it's because he's a piece of shit and he's probably cheating on you. He can't be trusted. That's why he don't trust you for no reason at all. Just remember that. If you're a good person and you know that you do the right thing, don't ever let anyone turn you into a self-doubter where you start second guessing your own goodness because someone else has a guilty conscience and tries to put that on you. Don't do that. I let that happen to me for 10 years in an abusive relationship with a narcissist where I lost my mind. I lost who I was. Like I've completely changed as a person. Being with someone like that changes you over time because you start to like, well, if they don't like me so much and I'm such a bad person and I can never do anything right, you're like, well, maybe if I start acting like them because they think they're so perfect that they'll stop telling me that I'm a piece of shit or that I'm no good or that I'm, they can't find anything good about me. And all that does is change you as a person and make you a piece of shit because really you are a good person. They're just a piece of shit, And that is the why she can't trust her first public defender. She don't trust her first public defender because she can't be trusted. There's no way you can live your life lying constantly 24/7 and be a trusting person. Your whole mind frame as a human being is constantly thinking in the criminal way, in an untrustworthy way. So of course you think everyone else thinks like that. Just like I read in that email a second ago. Doesn't everybody fucking snap on people and say things they regret and then feel sorry about it and regret it? No, bitch. You are a fucking bad person. You're a bad person. Period. Okay? So there's that. And here's another one. I don't know if any of you keep a diary, but if you do and you've ever read back entries from a while ago, you'll know that sometimes reading back your thoughts, especially from a younger age, can be cringy. But it's that cringe that gets you to the good. I feel like if you recognize it as cringe, it's a pretty strong indication you are healing or growing or both. Let's just say, I've cringed as hard as a summer rain in the deep south. That's funny because when my mom died 5 years ago, I moved into the house that she was living in. I didn't know my mom was a hoarder. Okay? I'm old. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm old. And all this time I never knew my mom was a hoarder. My mom always had a beautiful home that I never saw anything hoarded in. She apparently had storage units outside of the house that she hid from me and I don't know who else, but for me, like I said, lots and lots of lies that I found out when she died. But all that stuff came with her to this house in Kentucky. The reason there's so much stuff is because turns out my mom saved literally everything in her whole entire life. And it all looks like it was just made yesterday. So there's boxes that I went through over the summer where I found receipts from my daycare center, like that she paid the daycare center, receipts. Every piece of paper, I'm telling you, literally, she saved every single thing in her whole entire life. Not only that, there was boxes that had shitloads of stuff of mine. Stuff from like my entire room from when I was little. I found so many drawings of mine from when I was little and just stories I wrote. Every homework assignment, everything that I ever did when I was little was in the garage. And I went through, just days upon days upon days of like reading all these stories that I wrote when I was little. It was so amazing. It was so cool. And like not one time did I ever look at anything that I wrote, drew, created that was cringy. Not one thing. It was very nostalgic and it was just so cool to like see and read. And it was if it was anything, it was hilarious, like when you read stuff that little kids write or whatever. It was incredible. Gypsy, you reading back your thoughts, especially from a younger age, can be cringy because you do inappropriate things. You make inappropriate videos. You say inappropriate things. You do inappropriate things. You've been doing inappropriate things since you were little. That's why you cringe at your reading back some of your thoughts and watching back some of your videos. Yeah, of course it's cringy because you were doing inappropriate things. You weren't doing things that most normal kids are doing. You were stealing, lying, and making mostly you were doing inappropriate sexual things. Yeah, I would cringe too if I were you. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. And I want y'all to know that like the reason I don't, it's a little girl. It's a little girl. When it comes to making content and talking about Gypsy stuff or anything, any content that I make, the only way I can feel comfortable making content is if I know what I'm talking about, right? And the only way that I can know what I'm talking about is if I can speak from my own personal experiences. So the information that I choose to share with you guys is usually just something that I feel like is significant to life, and the only life that I know of is my own, So when I'm the content that I choose to share is either something that I find significant as far as human behavior, just in general, or I can relate to it somehow because I can compare it to my own personal experience. And I never want to speak about something that I don't know what I'm talking about. You will never catch me up here talking about something that I don't know what I'm talking about. If I'm talking about something, it's because I've lived through it, I've experienced it, or I can compare it to something of my own life. I will never be afraid to tell someone like, I don't know anything about that. And I'll never be up here lying. I'll never be up here spreading rumors. I'll never be up here saying things just to get people riled up or hyped up just to make content for clout or whatever. That'll never be me, just so y'all know. So when I talk about Gypsy and a lot of the things that I find in her records, I usually bring up because I can relate it to my own experience. So when I say things, I'm only ever going to say things that I know what I'm talking about. I don't ever want to be somebody who thinks that they know what they're talking about, but they really have never even actually experienced that. That would be so weird. I wouldn't even know how to do that. Oh, okay. So there's this. Check this out. I feel like I should take this off. Oh my God. So in this excerpt from her book, it says, Melissa, who's the co-author of this book, the one who's interviewing her, says, do you think they needed to learn to trust you too? There are people out there who wonder if you are just conditioned to be a liar and a master manipulator. How do you feel about that? Which I was like, oh, yes, I love that. Gypsy. I really only care about what the people who love me think and believe. With them, I try to earn trust through action. I mean, I have definitely lied and I have broken trust and I had to practice breaking out of the habit of deception. Listen to this, though. There are times I omit things to benefit me or make me out to be or make me out to be better than I am. Knowing this and finding the pattern is what makes it possible to undo bad habits. I don't know how many of you out there go through something like this, and that's none of my business. I personally can't think of very many things that I've had to work on or bad habits that I've had to where like I have to find the patterns. And it's not that that's a bad tactic. It's just like she's talking about, she's alluding to what would be considered self-awareness, right? If it's real, if what she's saying is real. So she knows what self-awareness is. She knows what it takes and what the actual act of being self-aware is. She can implement an idea and a plan into her own habits, which according to her are bad habits. Like she's basically admitting to the fact that like she has lied and now she's spouting out some BS about, making it seem like she's self-aware and that she has an idea of how to tackle the fact that she is known to be a liar. But isn't it just easier to be an honest person? It's just so easy being an honest person. Like if I say something, I mean it. I just try to spit facts all the time. So I just find she's constantly talking about how she has to work on herself and work on this. Like even in her new podcast bullshit she's been spouting out. Oh, well, you just have to give it up to God because, you're not in the right. Like she's just constantly talking about how she needs to work on herself. I don't think she's ever going to work on herself though. But if she makes people think that she is, then it's all good. Like, oh, I don't think so. So listen to this though. About 4 or 5 years ago, which I'm having a hard time, y'all out there, Audrey, 1980, whoever who has timelines already worked out with FOIA records or whatever, get into this because this book was written in 2018, I think. So that means in 2014, 2013, I can do math, even if I don't have records and timelines. She said she was addicted to Suboxone, a medication to treat opioid addiction. How would she get addicted to Suboxone? First of all, why would Dee Dee even have medication to treat opioid addiction? I find that to be a very odd medication that she would have had around the house. I'm pretty sure we would have heard more stories about reasons why that medication would have been available. And this is the first time I'm ever hearing her mention this Suboxone addiction. So about 4 or 5 years ago, from the time of this interview, which I think was in 2018, so we're talking 2014 or 13, I was addicted to Suboxone, a medication to treat opioid addiction. I had lied to Christy and asked her for $50 because I told her I broke this girl's CD player and needed cash to reimburse the girl. But I thought you didn't have friends. I thought you weren't in contact with your dad and Christy. I thought they didn't know shit about you. She trusted me, and I hurt that trust. I only admitted it last year. I told her it wasn't for my CD player, and I used the money to buy drugs. Well, you just said it wasn't for your CD player. You said it was for another girl's CD player. I told her how sorry I was, that it wasn't right. I hurt that trust. She said, I forgive you. I love you all the same. Here's my thoughts on this, and this is just me personally speculating. This is absolutely not any sort of narrative that I'm trying to push. But it just dawned on me. I just had this thought right now. So I've done a total of like 2 years in county jail, like accumulatively, right? Collectively. The longest amount of time I've ever done in jail was 6 months, and the shortest amount of time I've ever done at one time was 45 days. So, and I did a few stints of those. Suboxone is a drug that you hear about when you meet drug addicts who have heroin addictions, right? So that's a big thing you hear about when you're in jail. And then when you're in jail, what's the drug that they give you when you're in there? It helps you sleep or whatever. And then that's a big drug that people like, cheek and then they sell to other inmates or whatever. I feel like maybe this was actually a story that she heard from another girl while she was in prison. And she's just putting it into this story to have something to say because she literally, as we all know, cannot access real emotions connected to real stories because she's so full of shit and she lies so much and everything. She's not connected to any sort of reality. She's not connected to any sort of like actual memories that would even be able to be related to her giving an example of how she did something and then, did this or that to fix it. I don't think she actually has those types of memories to access. Again, this is my personal opinion. This is not anything that I'm trying to put a narrative I'm trying to push onto anybody, please. I just Sarah Boone pleased in the middle of a sentence. But that's just kind of what it sounds like. It reminds me of a story that you might hear from some idiot in jail, okay? Not that all people in jail are idiots or whatever. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like it's a stupid story. But if it's true, she was in contact with Christy 2 years before her mom died and was borrowing money from Christy. And how did she get the money? Did Christy bring it to her? Did she drive all the way from Louisiana to Missouri to give it to her? Did she mail it to her in the mail? Why would she ask Christy for the money and not her dad? Why would she need to ask Christy for the money if Rod was sending them more child support than he needed to anyway to compensate for the increase in pay that he was getting from being a boat captain? None of it makes any sense. And I just found that very interesting. And I just thought that whole story was wild. So yeah, right there it says it. There are times I omit things to benefit, blah, blah, blah. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was addicted to Suboxone, a medication to treat opioid addiction. I had lied to Christy and asked her for $50 because I told her I broke this girl's CD player and needed cash to reimburse the girl. She trusted me and I hurt, blah, 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 blah. I only admitted it last year. In what? Emails or on the phone? Because don't we have her phone calls, her phone recordings, and don't we have all of her emails? I'm curious to know if anyone's found proof of that. Talked about the cringe and how she was cringed at her memories, shit she did when she was younger because she did inappropriate things. I should probably open up the whole book and read this, but it says, the ending of a sentence that says, I'm quite stunned as to how integrated I had been in daily deception. The wheelchair is an obvious example, but my mother also taught me at a very young age how to shoplift. When my mother pressed the wheelchair accessible button at the entrance of our local Walmart, it was as if a stage curtain lifted. Personas entered through the automatic doors. Out in the world, Dee Dee, the caretaker, and Gypsy, the special needs child, were public figures. We were a familiar pair in our small southern community of Springfield, Missouri. My mother handled the chair determinedly with the ease that comes with long practice. Nobody suspected us. Sitting in a wheelchair helps to more easily knock items into your lap and shove them under your princess dress. And for items that couldn't be sat on or hidden underneath my beanie cap, my mother taught me the barcode swap. Remove the barcode sticker from a cheaper item and place it on the more expensive one. Then use the self-checkout lane. I'd be able to fit 14 or 15 CDs on me at Sam's Club since the store didn't have metal detectors. We'd steal random stuff at Hobby Lobby, screwing Hobby Lobby for crap that she'd bring home just to hoard. She had a whole extra bedroom full of stuff. Our bedroom had so much piled in it, I needed to carve a pathway for myself from the door to the bed. So yes, secrets and lies was my normal. Each secret and lie represented a huge facet of my life. My Habitat for Humanity house was a scam. The food my mother blended and fed into my feeding tube was a ruse. The Make-A-Wish trips were as fraudulent as the medical records and birth certificates that my mother doctored. What I tell you in my ugly baby video, which I had to put on private because YouTube didn't like it. Sitting in prison, I found that my recollections of what my life comprised were erased one by one. It was as if the entire backdrop of my life had been a giant green screen, just the projected images of a home, a mother, a community, all of which, with just one flick of a button, a light turned off, were revealed to be never actually there. Let's read this again. Secrets and lies was my normal. Each secret and lie represented a huge facet of my life. My Habitat for Humanity house was a scam. The food my mother blended and fed into my feeding tube was a ruse. Hold on, let me just make sure y'all can see this. Yeah, y'all can see this. The Make-A-Wish trips were as fraudulent as the medical records and birth certificates that my mother doctored. Sitting in prison, I found that my recollections of what my life comprised were erased one by one. We got to open up the whole book. Okay. This video is getting long.
Hi, Nick. I love you so much. I love and adore you. I'm so sorry. Oh, I know what I have. I have music for you. Oh, I almost forgot.
I almost just passed the fuck out. I have some new music. And I know I didn't do that Nick video like I said I was going to, but I have a couple of really good songs. And so let's listen to them. The first one is directly related to the video that I showed you in the beginning. So this song is literal excerpts from Nick's interrogation interview that he did right after he was cuffed up and in the police department when they first got arrested. I really, really like this song. I tried posting the video on YouTube, but I made it too gory because I used the actual pictures from the crime scene of Dee Dee in there because it's a really haunting song. I hope you like it. It gets stuck in my head all the time. Maybe because I had to listen to it over and over and over again when I was making the video. I don't know. It's really good. And then the song that I made that's correlated to the Gypsy apology video in the beginning, I think is fire. It's fire. So here we go.
He held up 4 fingers on his left hand. He responded for the 4th one. I felt it go into. It might have gone into her lungs because it was harder to get out. First she said help, then she didn't know. She didn't recognize who I was. She said, "Who are you? You?" Then she called out for Gypsy, but she didn't do anything. It didn't stop me though. It didn't keep me from going. He counted the ones that went in deep. didn't believe I could actually do it, that's what I think it was. She didn't think I was capable of it. It was like a different form of myself. The thing is that the me you're talking to right now is my normal good self. And that's the reason I feel the guilt I do. But the one who actually did all this is the good side of me. Refused to do it, that's why it was instant. That it happened right away, because my evil side is what actually did it. She couldn't do it, that's the reason she asked me to. She didn't believe I could actually do it, that's what I think it was. She didn't think I was capable of it. The evil part of him told her she was dead to him. Many things were said, but he could not remember them all. There are times when I'm hard to hold, hard to love when my heart gets cold. I let the dark in, I lose control, forget the fire we used to know. I get difficult to be with when the silence starts to slip in. I'm not always horrible, you know, I got light inside my soul. I've had times that made you happy, I've had times that made you blue, I've had times I hurt you badly, never meant to, I was hurting too. I don't want to hurt you anymore. I just want a life we're fighting for. Every relationship is probably not as rocky as ours, but we've always stayed together even when we're falling apart. I wanna treat you good, I'm so sorry I ever doubted you. This one promise I can keep, I'll be everything for you. I promise I'll be all you deserve. I'll learn your silence every word. Since I'm close, I won't assume. I'll make a home in every room. I love and adore you more than air. I'd walk through fire if you're there. I'd die for you again and again. I'd choose you over where I've been. So please forgive me this time. Let's find the love we left behind. I promise I'll stop all the doubting, everything that causes pain. I'll be your lover, your safe place, your safe best friend, your soulmate. When I say best friend, your soulmate. When I say I want you, it's because I wanna be with you. When I say I need you, it means I need you to breathe, I need you to live, I need you to be happy. I need you for everything, you are my reason. I'll walk through fire, I'll face the night. I'll choose you every time I fight. No matter what we're going through, my everything is just you. We're gonna make it to a happy ending, but I don't ever want us to end.
Come back again soon. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Yes. Cuz.
Will he come to the show?